something a little bit different today. I'm not going to be doing a cover or playing an original for you guys. I am just going to be talking about my musical journey. I just released my third album, Songs of Praise, and I'm super excited about it, so I thought I would just check in with everybody and tell my story of how I got here and where I plan on going. So I'm going to start by talking about When She Was Young, my first album.
Don't you wanna take a bus right to the West Coast? Let's have some fun.
I wrote most of the songs in high school and I released it my freshman year of college. It is a story-based album, so none of the songs are super personal or about me. Like Calypso is based off of Greek mythology and Clementine is based off of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's just what I would do in high school. I didn't want to be writing things that were too personal to me because I felt like it was too exposing, and I was like, no, I have to keep all my feelings to myself. So I wrote about other things because I had to write music no matter what. My favorite track on there is probably Tiamo, or at least it was the most fun one to record because I got to record it at school.
If I'm wrong, just tell me so. 'Cause all I know is stay at my house.
It was a live recording with my classmates who played instruments like guitar and cello, and I had somebody playing the piano so that I could focus on singing, and it was really cool. We got 3 takes of the entire thing, and that's what I had to work with, but they were all pretty good, so it worked out great. And I was really happy with it. It was a really fun experience and a great way to start my college experience. And I got to collaborate with another student from a different school from UCLA who worked on my Breathe music video, and that was awesome. That definitely helped me realize the power of connections with people, and it was fun to let somebody take their creative ideas and combine them with mine. Check out the video, it's on YouTube. But yeah, that was pretty much When She Was Young. And in between When She Was Young and my second album, I released a single, Bella Noche, and I recorded it with my mom and my sister Charlotte. And it was just really fun. It was a quick thing that I wanted to get done before Halloween because it's kind of a spooky song. And it was fun. It was super fast. My first single, only single, because I work in albums mostly. So we move on to Winter.
I'm over it, I'm over it all.
I definitely started writing things that were more personal to me, like my bonus song, and I just think it was really a good thing for me to start tapping into my own emotions. I started writing things more intuitively. I would sit down at a piano and do one take, and then that was the song, and I would just come up with everything on the spot, which was really cool. Definitely a new thing for me because I would usually just write down the lyrics or the chords first and then work with whichever one I hadn't done. But in Winter, everything kind of came together pretty wholly, and then I would just plug it into Logic and produce it, which is fun. I definitely got more creative with my production. Instead of just using strings and piano, I added some percussion in there. Definitely still like to work with strings and piano, but I got acquainted with the mellotron, which I fell in love with. My song I Sung has a mellotron solo. It was really fun to just work with new patches and new instruments. I feel like school really helped pushed me to do that because it introduced me to like so many different instruments out there, that there aren't just like strings and piano and horns. There are like so many other instruments out there that are great to use. I feel like in the song Winter Blankets, I totally just went out there and chose the most interesting instruments I could find. Like there's a Chinese flute in there that sounds pretty cool, and I just had fun with it. I thought about it a lot more than my first album, and I feel like that really helped me grow in my composition. Definitely my classes at school helped me with that, helped me like expand what I was working with. But yeah, it was great. I played with song structure, like in Be With Me, there's that pause and then the bonus song, which doesn't have really verses or chorus, it's just like an ongoing song, and that was new for me, and I really liked that. And now we move on to Soft Silence.
Lightning, I feel lightning in the air. Raining, oh so softly, barely there.
I really loved making Soft Silence. It was just so much fun. I did it all in like a summer. That's when I wrote all the songs, and the production came later, and it took me about like a year, like things usually do. But even though there were 4 songs on here, I feel like it took me longer because I was like using more interesting techniques. I did a lot of vocal warping, and I did some piano experimental music, kind of. Not like crazy, but light experimental. I did some pitch bending that was fun. I remember I was writing Candy Skies on my mom's piano, and she has a pitch bender on her keyboard, and I was just like messing around with it, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. I'm gonna do this. And I did. So that was really fun. I wrote songs that were even more personal to me, like Collier is about living in the south of France when I was little, and my French song, obviously in French, I'm just like connecting to the parts of my life that I really liked. I feel like this album was a lot lighter. Like my winter album is more heavy, and When She Was Young is kind of playing with both sides. Like there are some dark songs in there like Breathe, but some light songs in there like When She Was Young, you know? And so Soft Silence definitely is on the lighter side, where I'm using just lighter instruments. The 2 songs on there, Collier and French song, are just me and a piano. We recorded it live at a church, which was really cool. And it was just like to show the rawness of the emotion in the song, and that contrasts really well with Candy Skies and Didn't Mean to Wake You, which are like my more experimental songs on there. In Didn't Mean to Wake You, I use vocal warping a lot, which was fun, which I started doing in a class I took at UCSB, Sound and Sculpture, where I like made a sculpture and had sound to go with it, and the sound in there definitely had to like be more warpy and be more experimental to go along with the idea of like a sculpture. So it wasn't like a song, I was working with sound, and that pushed me to work with like sound art, like the end of Didn't Mean to Wake You. And that takes us to Songs of Praise. Where I use a lot more sound art. Like in Free My Soul, there's a long section of just clips of radio fuzz and a spinning record, things like that. This project was probably the most personal thing that I've done. Soft Silence was definitely a lot personal, but Songs of Praise was just, it's about religion, it's gonna be really personal. And that was really cool to tap into that because I've always been afraid of writing things that are too personal for me, but I feel like it pushed me as an artist and it helped me write things that I like couldn't have written before, because the thing about writing things that are close to you, you are a lot more passionate about it and you care a lot more. Like I cared so much more about the songs that are closer to me and I want to make them perfect. And I am not a perfectionist by any means, but my songs of praise, I definitely tried to make it sound as good as I could. I used it as my senior recital, as some of you might remember, and I feel like I got to showcase a lot of my compositional skills that I learned in school, which was really awesome. I got to use techniques like sound warping and letting songs breathe a lot. Like I was saying before in Free My Soul, it's got these long pauses before any vocals come in. I had a professor actually suggest that to me and it totally changed it, like 100%. It used to just be like verse, chorus, and then I was gonna do another verse and chorus, and she's like, why don't you just let it breathe for a while, let this sound go on for a minute, and it changed the song completely and made it so much cooler. So that was really cool. And then I worked with video for my senior recital, which was a new thing for me. I worked with trying to make the video as interesting as I could, as I'm not a film major, but I love Laurie Anderson and she works a lot with multimedia, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. And it worked really well. I mean, with the pandemic going on, I couldn't do a live recital, so using video for my recital in that way was something I could definitely be proud of. I worked for a very long time on the video and the music to make it good enough for my recital, and then for an album, I put so much more intention into it than I have with anything else. Like the short organ part in Is Anyone Out There, I feel like it's so like simple and you wouldn't really pay that much attention to it, but I feel like it makes the song, and the song would be so much different without it. I feel like I was less impulsive in my production method. I used to really just like throw in whatever and be like, yeah, that sounds great. And then with these songs, I went over them many times to make sure every sound was intentional. I used recordings from my phone, like ship bells off a dock and a sink from a hotel room. I just took sounds that I found and then changed them into music, which was a new thing for me and was really fun. Again, just working with sound art, and I was really enjoying like collaborating, like combining the sound art with the typical music that I make. I feel like it was pushing me. It was pushing me to be more creative and being like seeing what kind of composer I am and finding myself in that way. And yeah, I feel like all of the music that I've worked on has been like keeping a journal, and I've seen myself grow up. I've seen how much like school actually changed me. Oh my gosh. Sometimes when I was at school, I was like, is this even worth it? What am I paying for? But I legitimately feel like I learned a lot of techniques there that I would not have known of if I hadn't gone to school and if I hadn't pushed myself and if my professors hadn't pushed me. So I'm like super grateful for that. But yeah, now I just am going to continue making music. I have some stuff in the works, and I hope that I like keep pushing myself as a composer and keep making things that are more true to me, because music is always better when it comes from a closer place, and that's what I've found. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy. Check out my album Songs of Praise and comment below and tell me about your journey, and if you could put it into a word, what would that word be? It might be cheesy, but mine is like transformative. I feel like I've just totally changed into a new person, and I love it. So thanks guys.